Hello, and welcome to City of York Complete Communities TV. My name is Nona Watson, and I am the Director of Economic and Community Development for the City of York. The Complete Communities Initiative is a holistic approach to community development and neighborhood revitalization. Here on Complete Communities TV, we highlight and share with you the great things that are going on throughout the city. Today, we are here to discuss and tour DreamWrights Center for Community Arts. You don't want to miss this. Okay, so we are here with DreamWrights, and I am also here, in the studio right now. We have our Executive Director, Miss Ann Davis, but sitting here with me today, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
My name is Gregory DeCandia. I am the Artistic Director here at DreamWrights Center for Community Arts.
Okay, well, thank you. So I'd like to begin. The first thing that I noticed about DreamWrights is I was very intrigued with the name, first of all, alone. And so I wanted to find out, how did you all come up with the name? What does it mean, DreamWrights?
What does it mean? Well, it means that you can write your own dreams, is basically what it is. Instead of a playwright, it's a dream write, and writing your own dreams. And the way that it was formulated is actually from the founding. A bunch of families got together and were in the basement of our technical director's church, his father's church, Jay Schmuck's father, and they all decided to have a vote if a new theater needed to be erected here in York, and everyone said yes. They passed the hat around. That was their first budget. And then they also wrote a bunch of names down, and they voted on the names, and then DreamWrights became the winner and has been our name for, it was almost 20 years, DreamWrights Youth and Family Theater. And then once we began the wonderful refiguring or reconfiguring of the space, we also had a name change to be DreamWrights Center for Community Arts.
Awesome. I love that a group of people got together because we want to work with people who, don't just talk the talk, but get together and get it done.
Yeah.
So that's a beautiful thing. So can you tell us a little bit about what you offer here?
Ooh, what don't we offer here? And if we don't offer something that you want, please tell us, and we will find a way to offer it. And that's really what we try to do. For many years, we're the Youth and Family Theater, so performing arts is really the thrust of what we do, and has been basically the cornerstone of our foundation, which is to create a multi-generational experience. So we have, like on our stage right now, we have 7 to 70 on stage. We have 9 different families that are participating in our production of Charlotte's Web. So that is really the meat and potatoes of the meal that we serve up here, is those performance opportunities to give young people and older people and all in between a place to be able to go on stage or work backstage or volunteer for us. I mean, we have 4 staff members, and everything else is volunteer. So everybody else, it's really a labor of love, and we're very thankful for everyone that volunteers their time here. But we also have summer camps, we have workshops, we have symposiums, we have our gallery space now in here. We have students from Logos Academy, and they are the kindergarten through 4th grade students of Sarah Nobles, and they are doing a show in here of barnyard animals for Charlotte's Web. So part of embracing our new name of Center for Community Arts, we wanted to branch past performing arts and add the fine arts in it as well. So we have a gallery show before every single performance that we have here at DreamWrights, and we're also muralizing the back of our building. We have 30,000 square feet of canvas that we're going to muralize starting this summer, and we're very excited about that.
Oh, that's awesome. How important are the arts for community?
They're imperative. And even if you look at students learning, it's always confounded me that arts programs in school are usually the first to be cut. But if you look, there is study after study that show that kids that are performing in the arts or working in the arts are better at math, they're better at science, they're better problem solvers, they're better at expressing themselves, they can make eye contact with you when you have a conversation. So there's a lot of tactile skills and stuff that they're able to learn with the arts. So it's a shame that that's always cut. So that's one of the things, is that it just allows you to have a better understanding of human nature, really. It gives us a perspective that I think no other entity allows us to do. whether it's music or film or performing arts or fine arts. It's really a reflection of us as humans and what it means to be part of humanity. And it's just a lovely thing for us to be able to have this very large space and to be able to curate some of those experiences for our young people all the way up to our elderly folks.
Right. And how do you identify those people?
They usually identify themselves. Okay. I mean, again, we have 25 years of volunteers and families, so one of the wonderful things here is being a multi-generational institution is we get to watch people grow up. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite stories is Allison Withrow. She's the marketing director now for One Hospitality Group. Mm-hmm. She's been on our board, but to go all the way back, she was one of our founding members as a young child. She's performed on our stage. She was one of our teen board members. So again, one of those experiences is not just in the arts, but also in our administration. We have a teen board member. She was on that, then she was on our board, then she was head of our iDream committee, and now she's gone on to other things. But just to watch her grow and be grow within here and help us, but then also go out and do her own thing has been a really wonderful thing to be able to watch. Right, so how do we find these people? They come to shows, they participate in different programs that we have, our open mics on our festival stage outside. There's a variety of different ways that we get people involved, but we want more people to be involved. Right. And so my goal is to get as many young people through the door in my first season, this is my first season here, as possible. So we're doing after-school matinees, we're doing teen conservatories, we're doing a lot of things to reach out to our young people, including our next production, which is Spring Awakening, which is a co-production with Weary Arts Group, which we're very excited about, and that will be our teen to young adult production of the year, and we have Deidre and Gabriel Casey directing it and choreographing it. We're very excited. So.
Yeah. So how do you identify the productions? Like, what do you do? How do you identify what you do?
How do we pick the shows? Well, this was the first year we actually had a People's Choice, which is Charlotte's Web. So we actually opened it up to our patrons and the community and said, what would you like to see as a family-friendly title for the year? And that's something we're going to continue next year, too, as we will again have another People's Choice Award. I believe our voting will start on May 6th, which is our Sounds of Spring Cabaret, also the Give Local York Day. So we'll be doing that all the way to our block party that we'll be having on August 20th. These are some of our quarterly celebrations for our 25th anniversary season. But we will be asking for that title from the general public and decide what they would like to see as a show. Other things that we do is people come to us with shows that they're passionate about doing. That was at least half of the titles that we decided to do this year. And then we also want to do new titles and find new things with playwrights, local playwrights, and world premieres and things of that nature. So anything that's new and exciting. This year was very focused on young people in York and their experiences. It was kind of all overshadowed by my first production that I saw here, which was West Side Story, again, a co-production with Weary Arts Group last spring. And there were 42 young people. It was our first show back. They were absolutely electric. I believe they're still having cast parties to this day. They were just such a tight-knit group, and their energy was just so infectious that I said, I need to give them more opportunities because the other shows that we had in the year, there's only one other show that they were right for age-wise. So we made sure that we have at least 3 to 4 different titles this year that the young people were able to audition for. And we know that's so important for our young people here in York that are struggling with a lot of violence and different things that they have to deal with in an unprecedented time. So we want to let you know you have a safe place here at DreamWrights to express your emotions in a positive way and have an effect. And we look for stories that speak to our community. We did Twilight Los Angeles 1992. That was our first show of the season. And that is a documentary theater piece about the LA riots that happened after the Rodney King verdict back in 1992, which echoes so much to the George Floyd tragedy of today. So much so that our designer, J.C. Ayala, created this beautiful pictorial version of videos from then and videos from now and kind of blended them over each other, and it was really something special.
Yeah. So since we've been in a pandemic, have you seen like a rise in participation, where you find that the children are really looking for an outlet, or has it been pretty stable in reference to that?
It's been the new normal, right? You hear that term a lot.
Yeah.
And it's been a bit of a struggle. I think all of our numbers are a little bit down on participation than they were before the pandemic. I think that has a variety of different reasons. I don't want to damper the young people that are here and are excited and are very excited to be on stage. We had a bunch of young folk in a Christmas Carol this year, and they were all very excited to be a part of it. This is actually our first show that we took masks off. And so we've had a lot of masks performances, and so it's just been a very scary time. And I think initially when we came back, we thought that we could just jump back into the way things have always been. And we tried, and COVID reared its ugly head, and we had to do hybrid rehearsals. Some were in person, some were online. Even during our production of Christmas Carol, we had Jacob Marley, who was the narrator of our piece, was exposed, did not have COVID, was exposed, and so we had our protocols for him to be out of the theater, and so he was coming in on Zoom during Tech Week for us to be able to do the show. And I think that's one of our biggest takeaways is to remain to be flexible, and then to also realize that we have to find different ways to do things.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as you know, I work for the city, and I would like to know, if not now, give you some time to think about it, how can we come together and how can we support what you do here? Because I'd really like for us to be more involved in the arts. So do you have any thoughts about that, or is that something that...
come and see a show. Come and witness our classes. Come and see our art on our walls. Again, I came here in June, so I really believe the place is magical when you come in. It really does embrace the dream of DreamWrights, all the way down to our lights in the lobby. It's very angelic. And it's just a really welcoming space. It's surprisingly large, so we have room for anything and everyone. So we just keep on expanding our programming, and we're looking for people to tell us what to do as well, and what they're interested in. We're having our first mural class this summer that will be creating a mural outside. We have students that will be creating music videos for local artists, which is really exciting.
It is.
We have playwriting classes, we have screenwriting classes, we have Susical the Musical, and this is just our summer camps. Our teen conservatory, we were writing a new musical called The Lost Boys, which is the origin story of the Lost Boys of Peter Pan, and that's going to be a companion piece for our final show of the season, Peter and the Starcatcher. We're working with the I'm Fine organization. Their masks will be on our wall for Spring Awakening. I mean, there's just so many different things that we're doing. And our If You New York project. So that's one way that you can get involved. You can be interviewed for our If You New York project, which is a documentary theater piece, very similar to the Twilight Los Angeles piece that I mentioned. We currently have done 65 interviews with local Yorkers and what it means to live, work, and play in York. And we're creating a show that will go up in November that will be a verbatim piece. So we'll take these interviews and put them on stage. But also all of them in their entirety will be archived with the Your Story program at the York County History Center. So it's a dual effort to be able to archive some of the wonderful stories about York and preserve its history and its wonderful personal stories that you can only get on a one-on-one situation such as this.
Yeah, I like it. So how do you communicate with the businesses in York?
We offer a lot of businesses actually do sponsorships with us, so they'll actually sponsor a performance, which we always love. So if there's a show that you see out there, you can visit our website, and we have all the information of what it means to be a sponsor, and be on our posters and our advertising materials and stuff like that, be mentioned in our curtain speeches. But also we have a digital playbill, so we have advertising opportunities. And what's really cool about the digital playbill is that you can actually click on the ad and it'll bring you right to the website of the organization. organization. And that's organizations, that's businesses. We also started a campaign last year, and we continued it this year, called the Raise a Glass campaign. And we're offering advertisement to local restaurants as a thank you for staying open in the pandemic and feeding us.
Right.
And due to the unprecedented hardships that they've had financially, we've offered a trade sponsorship. So if they put our poster up, we put them in our playbill. If they want to cater something, they get more advertisement. So there's no exchanging of money, only exchanging of trade. And again, letting people know about the wonderful food scene that we have here in York. So that's one of the campaigns that we do directly with the businesses in town. But we'd love more businesses involved. If there's a show that they want to have a table here, we have Olivia's House out in our lobby right now, displaying some information, because we have Charlotte's Web, which is dealing with grief and loss and death.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to have to come check that out.
Yeah.
That's until when?
That is until April 10th.
April 10th.
And we actually have a talk back with members from Olivia's House, Healthy York Coalition, and then also Pastor Bill Kearney will be joining us on April 9th for a talk back, which is part of our community conversation series. We did our first one digitally online, which you can visit our YouTube channel and check that out. And then the other one will be in person, and this is open to the public.
Nice.
So it's at 5 o'clock on April 9th, and that is after our performance. You don't have to see the show, but if you want to come and find different ways to address grief and loss for our young people, which I mentioned in our curtain speech, 1 out of 5 young people have lost a primary caregiver during the pandemic. So kids are dealing with death earlier and more prevalent than they ever had in history. So we wanted to show all of the wonderful organizations in town that are helping families deal with this. And that's one of the ways that we're trying to help.
Nice. Okay, well, speak to our audience and letting them know how to maybe audition. Like maybe there's someone out there who's just like, I want to do that. So how do they connect with you? Yeah,
well, join our email list. That's very easy. I also announce everything every Wednesday. Again, if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, I do a What's Up Wednesday, so that will let you know about all auditions. And just reach out to me, Gregory@DreamWrights.org. Send me an email if you want to be involved, if you have any questions. And that's not only on stage. So yes, we have plenty of auditions. We have auditions for Spring Awakening, we have auditions for Avenue Q, all posted on our website right now with all the information that you need to be able to audition. But we need a bunch of people backstage. We need people to paint sets. We need people to do sound. We need people to do costumes. We have a wide range of things that you can be involved in. And even in front of house, you want to come and take tickets, or you want to work our concession stand, or you want to be one of our ushers. Again, we just want people to come here and experience DreamWrights and all we have to offer. And the only way we're able to do this is with you, the volunteers. We're a volunteer organization, so without you, we wouldn't exist. So yes, we want to have as many new people as possible, and become a member. If you become a member, you get a free ticket. You also get discounts to all of our classes and courses that we have throughout the year. And you also find out about all of these auditions ahead of time. So we announce it to our members before we do to the public. So that's one of the perks. Become our members. It's only $25 for the year. I mean, that's basically a night at the movies and some concessions. And you already get a free ticket here. So that's already $18, right? So there you go.
Sign me up.
Sign up. Yes, I hope you do. We'll make sure that she signs up after this interview.
Oh, it's so exciting. Well, thank you for that, Greg. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to move forward, and Cliff is going to come with us, and we want to do the tour now.
Great.
Okay?
All right.
So thank you very much. Let's move on, Cliff. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so this is our concessions gallery, Rutter's Concessions Gallery. So these are the...
I love Logos Academy.
Aren't they fantastic?
Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay.
And they did all these little, this is the 4th grade students did the little chickens. We have the kindergartners here did the sunflowers. And then here's our digital playbill, as I mentioned to you. So people just take a picture, and then it brings them right up on their phone and allows us to be able to get people connected right to all the organizations that we're working with. And all of this was done in 2016-17. This was the first part of our capital improvement campaign. And as I mentioned, these wonderful lights. This is one of our fundraising campaigns. You can actually dedicate a light to someone. My son's light is right here. So yes, and all of them are listed up on our put your name up in lights there. And then we're also doing another one with our new stairs. So we're doing a Step Up stair riser campaign. Each are $100, and you get to donate or dedicate a stair riser to a person of your choice.
Oh, that's cool.
This is our lobby for our main stage, the Diane Cruz Theater. We're advertising our Avenue Q. We are also doing a show called Avenue Carlisle. So Avenue Q is a very naughty puppet show, so don't bring your kids to see it, but you can bring them to see Avenue Carlisle, which we're actually creating in a summer camp this summer. So kids will create a sock puppet show that will be the children's version of the adult version of puppets called Avenue Q. These are two of the puppets that are already created by Mark Motsolf. He is our puppet master. Here's our cast for Charlotte's Web. So here we are in the Diane Cruz Theater. It's a 170-seat black box theater. Originally it was, 170-seat proscenium theater. It was originally a black box theater, but once we created the studio space, which I'll show you after this, it allowed us to make this our permanent space and a proscenium space. What does proscenium mean? It means that we have a proscenium right here. So we installed this curtain, made the stage permanent on here, and you can see we have Charlotte's Web on stage. We have 170 seats in the house. The ones with the numbers on them here, these are our reserve seating. So they're a little bit more expensive, or we have our general seating in the back there. So both are excellent seats. It's really not a bad seat in the house. And if you look up, this was our first construction of the building. When we first came in here, there was a second floor. So as you can see, it was cut out. There used to be posts that went right down the center here. And so now that's all gone. We get to bring our lights down so we don't have to carry them up. We only have to focus for them up in the sky. So that was our first big renovation of the space to make it not a sewing factory, which it was for many, many years.
Yeah, beautiful.
Great.
So I was looking at the cast out there, and I noticed a beautiful cast, but I noticed I didn't see like many minorities up there. Do you have a difficult time getting minorities?
Oh, we have Benton and Alan are both in the show. They're both Latin gentlemen. And Charlotte's Web really doesn't bring out, it's not the most diverse of stories. But if you saw Twilight Los Angeles, I think we only had one member that was not of color. So it really depends on the show. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Half of our directors in the season are directors of color, so we're very proud of that as well. And we do have many people of color on our board as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's another way that city people can participate,
I mean, we have
is be
to
on
get
our
the
board.
word out, right? Okay. This is beautiful.
Great.
Yep. Okay.
This is our second floor. This is traditionally, usually a pit is in front of the stage, but this is our musical pit and our former boardroom. So before we did our second half of the capital improvement campaign, this is where we used to have our board meetings. When we do a show, this screen comes down right here. You can see the projector all the way in the back, so that will project the stage for the conductor, who usually stands right about here. And then we have a camera on him, and then in the back of the house we have a closed-circuit television so they can see and keep time during the show.
Oh, love it.
So,
okay. Now I read you do rentals as well.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
And usually only happens around Halloween time, but we rent all year round, 365 days a year, for all different kinds of events. You have a quinceañera party. Yeah, we have ball gowns and stuff like that. You have a princess party or some sort of themed party. We can do that. We just did Shrek, so if you want to do a fairy tale party, we have all of those costumes from Shrek. So this is our costume shop.
Okay.
So we have our restrooms up here. There's also our washroom over here. This was all done in the first part of the capital improvement campaign, and this was done in the second half. So we have our male and female identifying dressing rooms over here. We also have our wig and makeup costume room right there, and then you can see all of our stock.
I'd like to see can I see the wig?
Yeah, sure, of course. We have a whole bunch still in here, but
How cool
that's
is this?
a start of them, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're in the midst, we have a new costume person, Izzy, who is organizing all of our stuff. You can start to see and hear. Oh, there she is. Hey, Izzy.
Hi, Izzy.
Yeah, she's in there coordinating everything by style and also color. So you can see when she's done, because basically a rack turns into a rainbow.
Right,
So, and it turns into a rainbow because not only are they together by style, but they're also together by color.
Right.
Bookshelves, piano benches, stools, drinking cart, basically everything is in here. Then we have trees, we have stones, we have our musical section, our medical section. Here's our armory. Yes, so all of our weapons and chains and arrows and sickles and basically everything from every era of things. And nothing actually fires, so that's why it's not locked. Then we have plates and glasses from all different times, baskets, you name it, it's up here somewhere.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in props, what is props? It means you go through all this stuff and find what the best props are for the show. So we're always looking for props designers, set designers, costume designers, lighting designers. And if you don't know how to do any of those things and you're interested, come and we'll help you figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
Right now we have a sound designer who's 13 years old. And Enzo
Wow,
Messina
that's so cool.
is doing his first full out sound design for Charlotte's Web. So,
yes,
yeah,
go.
Indeed.
Okay.
This is where the sets are built. So we have our platforming over here. We have steps over here. That is Foam Central over there. Down here is our recording studio. So during COVID, again, we were trying to figure out different ways to get people involved. So we have our recording studio, and it has its own air filtration system. Yes, so this is COVID compliant. I turn these air filtration systems on, and within 6 to 8 minutes, the entire air in here is totally cleared and cleaned out. This is where we have conducted the majority of our If You New York interviews.
Okay.
So this is our camera for that, and then we have our master studio in there. So that was very good during Omicron. We were able to be very safe as we were conducting the interviews. And we'll actually be at Central Market next week, doing some in the community as well.
Oh, nice.
So here's our Foley table. This is where you have your different sounds. Monty Python made this very famous, you know, about horses, or if you need steps that are happening, or chains. So we have all different kinds of sounds that can happen here, all to make radio plays. So we did a whole bunch of Christmas radio plays last year. So we were doing that, and we're hoping to bring that back and doing some radio plays, because a lot of people hate memorizing stuff, so when you can read it, it's a little bit easier. So it gives other people another way to be able to perform. So this is our paint station. This is where all the painting happens. And then we have our platforming. There's Ann Davis. We can finally get her now. Ann Davis, Executive Director. Also being acknowledged by the AACT this year as an outstanding theater creator.
Oh, beautiful. Congratulations.
Yes. And just behind this wall, we're bringing in our silk screening, so we're starting to do our own t-shirts here. Our technical director is also going to be showing some young people of how to make their own t-shirts, so we'll be able to do that, which is really exciting. So I mentioned our main stage. We also have our studio space. So our studio space is our black box.
Thank you.
This is a 70-seat black box theater. What black box means is that everything is interchangeable. So all the seating can move around, everything can happen. We actually have a tax and retirement class that's brought to you by PA Wealth Management that's happening here this week. So again, different things that we offer. Being a community center, we want to be able to give people access to all different kinds of tools and stuff to be able to do what they need to do. So that's one of the things that we offer. And they're a rental, so we rent the space. If you like any of the things that you saw, you too can rent DreamWrights Center for Community Arts. We have all the space. So yeah, it's very versatile, and you know, we have a lot of things to make it a very special event. And you know, think outside the box.
Absolutely.
So this is our studio space. That's DreamWrights. Thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate you spending the time with us.
Great. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Ann, for all the work you do here and the services you provide. So thank you for having us. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
All right. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
All right.